So we're going to have a look now at the mobility app designed by Sidetrade. So here I am looking at my Android device. So I'm going to be able to navigate first of all to the Play Store, where I'm going to be able to search for the Sidetrade app. We can see it just there. So simply I'll download and install this app straight to my device, where I'll be able to start working on it straight away. Of course, it's going to be exactly the same if you're using an Apple iOS device. So now we can see the icon is available there on my desktop. Simply launch the app, where I'm presented with a simple menu offering me three separate functions: management, accounts, and followed contacts. Let's start off by looking at the management. So within this menu, I'm able to have a direct visual overview of my portfolio. The first chart we're looking at is the turnover and the evolution of turnover versus your incoming payments or your cash versus the total outstanding. So for each person's portfolio, you can now get an appreciation of how much has been paid, how much is outstanding, and how you're doing from a sales perspective. Scroll to the left and we can see this same view of the receivables, but from an aging perspective. So now we can understand how much is overdue, therefore impacting our DSO, and how much is not yet due and there for collection today. Scroll to the left and we can see that in a DSO view. So here we can see not only the DSO, which is calculated every day in Sidetrade automatically, but also the best possible DSO or the optimal DSO and the overdue amount expressed in days. Final chart is just to the left, and that's a view of the disputes. So if I'm a sales guy or if I'm a operations person who needs to have a view of the disputes in their portfolio, I can see that really quickly on my chart. I can see the total amount in dispute in my portfolio, the number of days that are being blocked as a result of those disputes, and how old they are on average. If I come back to the main menu, let's take a look at the accounts function. So within the accounts, here I can see a complete view of all of the accounts that are in my portfolio. I'm able to get a high-level overview of the turnover for the last 12 months, the current outstanding balance, and a breakdown of what's not yet billed, what's overdue, and what the disputes are. I've also got the option of marking some accounts as favourites, so I can follow them, as well as seeing accounts that I've recently viewed through the mobile app. Let's drill down now into an account. I simply click into the account and I can get more detail that's coming straight from my systems. So for this particular account, what can I see? I've got an order that was blocked on the 4th of February. So we need to obviously have a look at what's going on that account. I can see who I need to call, who I could contact, a breakdown of the turnover, the total outstanding, the overdue amount, the disputes, what the DSO is for this customer, and the number of days that they pay late on average. I get an overview of the risk, including the amount of credit that could be available, as well as some data that can come from my system. Perhaps I want to contact this customer, no problem, directly from the app. I can simply hit the phone number and go straight to my dialing screen on my cell and be able to call that customer direct. Exactly the same if I wanted to email. I just hit the email address. I'm brought up with an email message, which I can then send obviously directly to my contact without having to look up his address. Perhaps I could be at this client's and I'd need to maybe understand what this overdue amount is. Simply hit the URL there for the overdue amount and I'll get taken directly to a view of the account showing the items that are making up this overdue balance. Want to understand the status a bit more? We can see that we've got some promises and some disputes and some elements in progress. I can simply expand on that and find out what the last comment was that was made. So in this case, for example, I could see that the customer was expecting a 75% discount for this item, therefore we've got a dispute that's currently outstanding. The final menu that we have is of course the contacts management. So this is really useful. You've already seen an overview of that, but you'll be able to tag specific contacts as your favourites and then have a direct access to them from within Sidetrade, therefore being able to use that company information that's living in your systems to be able to go straight to your contacts in a summarised format. So quite a short overview, but hopefully that gave you a quick insight into the power of the mobile app. that Sidetrade is currently providing on Sidetrade Network.